So, like I said, oh, okay, it's just barely recording. Okay. This is not going to be popular, like I said, but I just want you to listen to everything that I have to say first, and then pray on it and sleep on it if you have to before you weigh in, because I think it's important for America and the foundations of why people came to America and to live freely, to truly live freely. And that's freely in every single way. Not to be judged, not to be told that they can't do something, as long as they're not harming somebody else or living in a way that harms somebody else, or something like that, anyways, I just wanted to, just let me say what I have to say, and then if you want to weigh in tonight, but just think about it first before you before you attack me. Anyways, okay, so people came to America to escape religious persecution or whatever. I mean, I don't know if that's the truth even, but let's just say that the truth is that America is supposed to be the land of the free, and we're supposed to be able to live freely without any kind of persecution and without being told what we can and can't do at all, right? That's the whole experiment that is America, and constitutional republic, not democracy, like my one friend says on YouTube. And anyways, I love it when he says that, democracy. But anyways, so I think where we made our first mistake was we did make a mistake, and our first mistake was, and this is what you guys are really not gonna like. You guys are not gonna like this. But our first mistake was that we made. We made drugs illegal. We told people that that they were wrong for wanting to live that way. Then they were criminalized for it, and even though they were just under the influence or something like that, we put them in jail, right? Totally. I mean, the drug addicts of today are treated like the lepers of, the ancient times, or whatever you want to call it, like the lepers of old. Drug addicts are treated so disrespectfully. The mentally ill are treated so disrespectfully. So judged, so written off. Just so many different things. It's sad. It really is sad if you think about it. Drug addicts already have, they don't think much of themselves as it is. And then on top of that, society just tears them a new one constantly. Constantly judging, laughing, mocking, all this different stuff. So then they made laws against us. And I don't know what started that whole thing off. But we were supposed to be living in a free society. And, if somebody who was on drugs committed a crime, not just that they were on drugs. I'm making a video, babe. Not just that they were on drugs, but on drugs and committed a crime, so could not handle the drugs that they were on or whatever, then yes. But for being on drugs, it should not have been a crime, because what I choose to put in my body, what I choose to do with my life here on earth, should have been my choice. And as long as I'm not bothering you, him, or anybody else, that should have been okay with everybody. And I'm sorry, but it was a right that we had. And that was the first, I think, I'm not positive, but I think that was the first right that was attacked and made laws against. And so we lost that right. And once you lose one right, the rest of them fall. The rest of them were bound to fall. Of course, the next one, because we gave Satan or whatever that foothold, you know what I mean? We gave him that in. We gave him that. Now it's going to be, now, oh, you're going to talk like that? Oh, heck no. Now you got to be locked up for the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you do this, the way you do, until it just booms. And the dominoes are starting to fall. And the dominoes, each until we go back to what we originally were and start actually letting everybody live freely in this free society. And I could be wrong. It could have been something even before that. It could have been something before making laws against drugs. It could have been, I don't know. I can't think of what it is right now. I mean, maybe somebody else. But somewhere, somehow, Satan gained a foothold in one of our rights, and we thought we were right. We thought we thought we had the right to make laws against it, against the way you wanted to live, and you wanted to live, and you wanted to live, or he or she or whatever. We thought we had that right, and we made laws. And it's just so, it's not a buffet. You don't get to pick and choose what rights. Oh, because I don't like that one over there, I'm going to make laws against that one. But I like this one over here. They're attacking our guns. They're attacking everything now. Because we all stand together, right? So even though it wasn't me personally, we all stand together. We are all this. We're all the same. We're like one big body, right? We're like one big body, and so we can't choose to. Oh, I'm gonna sit this one out. No, we're one big body. We're all connected. So therefore, I have to put myself in that too and be accountable, because I could have said something against. I could have done something, right? We're all, so where we go one, we go all. So, anyways, like I was saying, somewhere in the system, we fucked up. We fucked up, and we decided that we were going to judge somebody else on the way they were living, and then we were going to make laws against it. And once that one fell, the rest of them were just going to boom, 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 boom. So either we go back and we fix all that, go back and fix it all, and stop making things illegal, because everything's illegal. You have to put your seatbelt on. You have to, geez Louise, it's not fun living in America anymore. It's really not. You can't walk your dog, it's crazy. It's really seriously getting crazy. I mean, when I leave my house, I am constantly checking myself. Sometimes I'm riding my bike and I check to see if I have my seatbelt on, if I see a cop or something like that. It's just ridiculous. I don't feel comfortable at all, out in public. It's just no fun anymore. And of course, I live in California, of course, so here it's a little bit more different. It's like, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Just because we live in the best state, just kidding. But just because we live in California shouldn't mean that we have to put up with more, losing of our rights. No, that's not. We should all we're Americans, and I think all the states, I don't know how that whole federal and state government stuff works, but all the states we should be more united. We should just all be more united. We really should, We're looking bad to the rest of the countries. We're supposed to be that example, and we're not being a good example at all. We're supposed to be that example. Just think of that. It makes me want to cry. We're supposed to be that example of how I'm gonna cry. How how a constitutional republic, how it works. It's really gonna work. And look, we're not being a very good example, are we? Because it was working, but somewhere we fucked up and we decided that we know best. So all these rights are okay except for that one right there because we know best. And so we're going to get rid of that one. Then we'll be perfect. No, that's not how it works. We have to let every man live free. Every man, no matter what that is. Of course, there's got to be, you can't go around doing evil things to people. I think, the commandments are pretty good. I don't know. I'm just a human being and a woman at that. So I'm the weaker vessel. But, the man is the priest of the home, the priest of society, really, that is a man's job. I'm sorry, but it is. If women want to know what we're supposed to be up to, read Proverbs 31. Read it good, read it long, read it hard, read it. We have our own jobs that we're supposed to be doing. We ain't got no time to be doing none of that stuff. And men have what, there's a reason that God gave us our own specific jobs to do. Our own, and ours, women's, are no less important, no less demanding, hard, wonderful. I think if we went back there was a reason God appointed those for each of us, that men were supposed to do, and it made their society run really smoothly. And, men went to work with other men. They were happy to come home to see their wives, you know what I mean? Now men have women bosses. Oh man, that must really tick them off. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but it just is not natural. It's not the way things were supposed to be, and our society now is kind of giving, us a taste of what happens when we decide that we know better. We don't. Our Creator knows us like the back of his hand. He didn't tell us how to live for his benefit. Nothing we do is for his benefit. If you don't understand that, nothing we do is for his benefit. He's fine. He's the creator of everything, He's doing fine. Everything he's telling us is because he knows us, and he knows our fallen state. So everything he's telling us is for our benefit. Trust me. He knows us. He knows that stealing, thou shalt not steal. Stealing is going to piss somebody off enough to maybe kill you, or you know what I mean. He just doesn't want to see us suffer the consequences of the things that piss us off about one another. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I'm kind of like totally just going off. I'm still crying a little bit. Just because I love humanity. And I think we can do it. I think we really can. I think we can make a really good show of it anyways. And we're not even trying at this point. We're not even trying. We're just doing whatever we feel. And we're not. I always take 3 days to like meditate or pray on things before I kind of make a big decision, and some of the stuff that we're getting ourselves into, we're making rash decisions. We're making jump decisions. We're making decisions that like we're hungry at the grocery store. You know what I mean? Like, which you should never do. And it's having big consequences, and us adults, us Generation X and older, and maybe like a little bit younger than us, we're supposed to be the role models to our future. You know what I mean? Like, and we're not. We're supposed to be showing them how to live. How to live in a society and get along with one another. To live in a society that it runs smoothly. That's always getting better, not ever going backwards and getting worse. It's always advancing, But advancing is not advancing above. Advancing means, like that our workload or whatever gets a little bit easier, or stuff like that. not that our workload is completely done by something or somebody else, no, God said to always work with your hands, and until you're very old, to work with your hands, because it has something to do with the whole hand-eye coordination thing, and it keeps your brain young. Like older people do crosswords and stuff like that. Well, actually, they were supposed to, like, knitting is actually, fine detail stuff for older people is actually better. It keeps your mind young. Look at all the Alzheimer's and everything. I don't think it has anything to do with anything, but just not using your brain anymore. And senior citizens, they're just not using it no more. Because they don't have to. You know what I mean? Maybe there's something to be said about raising the retirement age. Maybe it's not such a bad thing. Maybe it's actually helping our senior citizens stay. Because I know a lot of men who, when they retire, they get depressed. It's all bad for them. Like, I can't. My dad is 80-something years old. He's still working just like he did when he was a union plumber for 35 years. He hasn't stopped, and if he did, it would kill him. If he did, it would absolutely kill him. It would absolutely ruin his life. So, I know I'm just kind of like just talking a lot here, but I wanted to say this on TikTok for so long, and I've been too embarrassed, I guess. But I've been thinking about this, but now with just all this stuff going on, everybody's saying, oh, it's free speech, it's free speech. Nuh-uh. It was drug laws before free speech, and before drug laws, it was probably something else that I'm just missing at the moment. But once, like I said, our rights, and all that stuff, our freedoms and our rights and all that is America, is supposed to be America, is not a buffet. You don't get to pick and choose what you want. You have to understand the benefit of the ones that you don't like. You have to understand the benefit of the ones that you even don't like, because for somebody else, that's their living, and to take that from them is not fair. It's like first it was drugs, and it was guns, and now it's speech. What's it going to be next? You know what I mean? No, we have to go back and undo all that we fucked up with. We fucked up, and we have to undo all that. Otherwise, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. We have to undo it all, or it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. So, I hope I reached somebody today. I hope I said something that made sense to somebody. Don't get mad at me. Don't look at me with no teeth and say, "Oh, she's just saying that because she was a drug addict." I may have been, I may not have been. I just know that, you can't go around telling other people that their way of living is not okay, but yours is. Oh, mine's fine, but yours isn't, and I'm going to judge you, and now I'm going to take everything from you that you held dear and you loved. Your guns, your speech, your drugs, your whatever. I'm going to take it all. And then, you know what I mean? But pretty soon, it's coming for them too. Something that they love, is going to get taken. If we continue down this path, it's just all going to end up gone. So let's go back and undo all these stupid laws. Take them all off, until everybody actually feels that they're living free again. Being policed, that's one thing. And I think that we should have to go back to voting. Policemen and women were voted in. They weren't just hired. Are you kidding me? You can't just hire everybody, because the town is not going to trust just anybody. You know what I mean? That's why they were voted in to be peace officers, not policemen. They were peace officers. So we should go back to that. Vote in, the peace officers of our choice, they have to campaign, they have to do all that. We vote them in, and, they get paid handsomely for that once they're voted in. But if they're not, if we haven't voted them in, they can't just go around telling, acting like they know, because you have to have a really good, fair mind to be a peace officer. So you can't just be any old geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel. Just kidding. Anyways, regulators. All right, I love you guys, and I always will. So, have a blessed just life. I've sent all good vibes out to everybody in the whole world right now from my heart, like a Care Bear, like a Care Bear. I would send it out. I'm gonna cry again. Bye.